be faster.
Can I help you with something? Yeah, man. I'm kind of in a rut lately. You got any shoes that are gonna make me faster?
What faster? I think I've got something for you.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Hey. How the hell did he do that? Hey, man, how come it's so dark in here?
It happens sometimes. I think you're going to like these.
Sell my soul for these shoes.
Would?
So you won't have to sell your soul for this shoe, but you will have to shell out $250. Is it worth it? I'll let you know what I think in this review of the Brooks Hyperion Elite 2. So, as you saw in the intro to this video, this is a fantastic shoe for anybody who's looking to run just a tiny bit faster. Today we'll talk about how Brooks has accomplished that, get into the stats a little bit of the shoe, and then we'll kind of work our way through. We'll talk about the outsole, the midsole, the upper, and I'll give you my thoughts on whether you should shell out $250 for this thing. So yeah, let's get into the stats. This shoe is unique in that it's unisex sizing. So it's coming in at 7.6 ounces for a men's size 9. The stack height on this thing, we've got 35 millimeters in the heel, 27 millimeters in the forefoot, giving it an 8 millimeter offset from the heel to the toe. What I like to do in my shoe reviews is kind of work my way from the bottom to the top. Starting with the outsole here, you can see is very minimal, not a ton of carbon rubber on the shoe. That's for two reasons: to keep it super lightweight, and then also what they try to do is add a little bit of durability by putting it in those like high abrasion areas, so on the heel here, and then up in the forefoot when you're toeing off. You ever go to, say, Walmart, buy yourself a steak from there, get up at home, and think, you know, it's a pretty good steak, it's not too bad, and then maybe fly to Japan, get yourself a nice piece of Kobe beef, eat that thing, game changing. This midsole on this shoe is the Kobe beef of EVA. The EVA that this shoe utilizes for its midsole is of the highest quality on the market at the moment. If you were to take a microscope and look at it underneath it, all the cells are uniform and kind of going in the same direction. Most other EVAs, if you look at it, kind of all over the place. So the reason why this shoe feels so fantastic and smooth from heel to toe is that uniformity. They also, to improve that same characteristic, use nitrogen as a blowing agent because nitrogen is the most uniform gas on the periodic table. So a high quality EVA finished with that nitrogen helps make this shoe one of the smoothest underfoot. The cushioning feels responsive but soft. It gives back to you. The midsole also deploys a carbon fiber plate that runs from heel to toe. A lot of shoes are doing this lately, and what that carbon plate does is it acts kind of like a lever. So when you land and try to transition to toe off, it's going to assist that, and because it's rigid, it acts as a stabilizing force, so you're working less hard to kind of get through your gait cycle. So the midsole on this puppy is what you're paying $250 for. What I really like about it is it's kind of a wider platform than a lot of other shoes in this kind of world. If you were to, compare it to like a Vaporfly, you'd see a bit of a narrower platform underfoot. That wide platform just, for some reason, it just gives me confidence that I'm on top of the shoe and I'm heading in the right direction. Working our way up to the upper on this shoe. The upper, I believe, is the same exact upper that you'd find on the Hyperion Elite 1. But what I really like about the way this shoe fits, kind of like I was saying with the midsole there, is it's roomier in the toe box. A lot of these racing flats that are trying to be like your go-to marathon, half marathon racing shoe, they fit really snug and tight. This one gives you a little bit more room up there, which I'm a huge fan of, because again, it just allows my foot to spread out a little bit, allows me to do some stabilizing, and it just feels comfortable. Also, side note, shoelaces on this thing, money in the bank, they got the little bumps there, so they stay tied. It's fantastic. My one complaint about the upper on this shoe is the heel counter. I have noticed that I slip out a little bit, and what I've tried to do is play with the lacing, try the runner's knot a little bit. It helped, but it wasn't perfect. So I've just got to be, I got to be aware of that movement and pay attention to any blisters that come back there. The owner of our store gave me a tip. He swapped out the insole under his foot, and that helped with that heel counter. I haven't gotten to try that, but I might just do that. So yeah, that's my one complaint about the top part of the shoe is that heel counter. I don't feel locked in as much as I should. Who is this shoe for? So if you're someone who is very close to a PR in, say, a half, 5K, maybe a marathon, and you are, pretty well off, you got a couple extra bucks in your pocket, and you're looking for something to spend it on, this is your shoe. It is $250, but the question is, how much would you pay for those extra few seconds to get yourself a personal best? For me, I'm a little bit more in the laid back stage of my running career where personal bests aren't really my goal. I'm trying to enjoy myself, have fun. I just happen to work at a running store and I get access to these shoes. So I'm probably not the target market for this shoe, but if I was, back in the day when I was like 25, just maybe been out of college for a few years, really getting after it and kind of hammering my training, but looking for that edge on race day, I think I might have written that check, for 250 smackers. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there kind of in that world, whether they're just out of college or, they've been cranking away at their 5K or their halftime and they really, really want to get that PR. This is a good option for you, especially if you're someone who has a wider foot and find that your typical racing flat fits too tight. This is a great option. I've just been using it on some training runs, some up-tempo workouts, and I really do enjoy the ride of this shoe. I think that high-quality EVA is like top-notch. I'm not super familiar with, say, the Vaporfly or the Endorphin from Saucony, but I know that this is probably the fastest shoe that I have ever put on my foot. So I do highly recommend it if you're looking to get those extra few seconds. Overall, a good shoe.